Okay, today we are making French fries topped with a fantastic cheese sauce that has bacon and pork and onions. It turned out to be a wonderful little meal. So we're cutting our russet potatoes, drying them off after a quick rinse, tossing them in a little bit of vegetable oil before we lay them out. A little seasoning, salt, toss them around. We are just gonna rip some bacon up and toss it in. Now I have some pre-cooked pork here. You can really use whatever you have. I'm a big fan of using what you have, and I had some cooked pork already in the fridge. I'm gonna dice that up just into some fairly small chunks. Always use what you have. If you have hot dogs, if you have lunch meat, if you don't wanna use meat, use vegetables or just skip that whole step. So now chopping up some onion. Getting that bacon crispy. Cook the onions and the pork in and kind of crisp it up. Even though the pork is already cooked, I'd like to get some crispy texture on it from cooking at a high heat in this bacon fat. Scraping all the bits up, adding some caramelization to the equation. Now I'm just taking a small knife and cutting some wedges of cheese. This is just a medium sharp cheddar. Again, very precise measurements here. Not at all. Now some mozzarella. Again, these are the cheeses that I had on hand, just cutting an amount, probably gonna be close to a cup or so. Now I'm dicing that bacon up really fine before we add it right back in. Again, using what I had. This was garlic paste stuff that I got from the store because there was no garlic at the store at the time. Now we baked our French fries at 425 degrees. This is about 10 minutes in, and I'm gonna give them a toss. And just flip them over so we can get some even cooking there. And back in the oven for another 10 minutes. Now we have our bacon and pork and onions and garlic all kind of bubbling away, and I'm adding in a heaping tablespoon of flour or two. Essentially making a roux in this pan. We're gonna let this cook a little bit, cook some of the flour flavor out. It's getting sticky and coming together. Just keep moving it, probably just a few minutes is all it needs. Now I take it off the heat and I grab my favorite whisk. And I start to whisk in some whole milk. The reason we take it off the heat is sometimes the milk can scald if it was cooking at too high of a heat. So to avoid the scalding, we take it off the heat and just start to temper the heat with the cold milk. Just adding little bits at a time. Until we can get a little more comfortable and adding a more significant amount. Just whisking to break up those chunks, incorporating that flour. There. And after it's all mixed in, bring that back to a boil on the heat. And as it gets closer to a boil, it'll start to tighten up and thicken up, and that's when we can start adding our cheese in. Until it's all incorporated and starting to melt. Once it's all melted, I add just about another tablespoon or two of heavy cream. Pure indulgence. Add your favorite hot sauce if you'd like at this point. a little pepper. That is our cheese sauce. Pull our fries out. They look to be crispy and wonderful. Toss into a bowl and then just serve on top. Or you can use this just as a dipping sauce and dip your fries straight into it. Or dip your hairbrush into it. I mean, anything in the sauce is going to be fantastic. Just a little spice from the heat, from the hot sauce. Bits of pork and bacon in there. Ugh. So happy. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you try some of these recipes out. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoy this as much as I do. Continue to use what you have and make the most of it. We'll see you next time.